Yo, live stream set for 3:30 today. Quick glance at and make sure you bring your plays. Bring the plays. Bring the plays. Quick glance at what's going on right now and a few plays that I have set to the side and a few scenarios. I want to try to run through this shit real quick, just rushing through it real quick. However, a few injury news and notes that just popped out. Lou Dort, this is out. Um, Suggs a game time decision. Jonathan Isaac is in. That's big. Joel Embiid participated in shoot around. Thought he'd be out. So you never know with him. And the rest of my okay, John Collins was big because I'm all over him. Usually when you get early, early questionable or early illness tag, usually they're out. Right, but we're gonna talk about some scenarios. Kyle Lowry is questionable Monday. That's interesting. Um, Malcolm Brogdon questionable. DeAndre Ayton questionable. So it's a lot. All right. So let's go through this real quick. All right. Um, so the Indiana Pacers and Detroit Pistons. Right. We know we have no Duran. Right. So there's going to be a lot of spots. There's going to be a lot of spots here. A lot of spots that you could probably take advantage of. But we'll see. However, let's talk about Indiana on one side of the fence here. Indiana. I like to target them points wise, so it is what it is. Start from the shooting guard. So Indiana giving up the fifth most points to the shooting guard position. Small forward, fifth most points there as well. And then power forward, second most points to the power forward position. And then center, they're giving up the second most points to the center position. And that was before the Anthony Davis massacre. All right. So as you can see, they're giving up points just left and right. All right. Detroit Pistons starting off right here. Um, you can look at some defensive stats because you know you got Miles Turner. Detroit, they're giving up the most blocks. They're giving up the second most steals to center. And then fantasy points, they're giving up the second most fantasy points to the center position. Right now, on Outlier, looking at some of my best that I had set to the side, I definitely have Miles Turner set to the side for steals and blocks. Okay. So I'll just look at head to head during for this matchup, you could take one or the other, steals and or blocks, or combine them both. Four blocks and last year. On well, that's way back in 21, but still, he was still doing it. Now, this year, he has five blocks and one steal. Okay, so that's going to be interesting there. It's going to be interesting, right? That's going to be interesting there. There's a ton of guys that's in the good spots as well. Uh, I mean, Cunningham, all these guys. Bogdanovich is another play that I had penciled in. Didn't sprinkle on it yet, but I have it penciled in for the simple fact that you can look at this 5 games, the first 5 games here back. Uh, no, he's played 3 games, right? This year he's played 3 games, and 2 of those 3 games he's hit his three ball. He's hit the three ball, and his points wise, um, so you can look at his threes or you can look at his points. Okay, so points wise, he's 2 or 3 to this number on the season. Let me filter it to 2023. Okay, there we go. He's 2 or 3 to this number this season. 22, 22, and 9. Okay, tough defensive matchup here, but I don't. He's a guy that's going to go out there and truck. I don't see no reason why he can't hit this number. Am I betting it? Probably, but pointing out some good spots right now. So it is what it is. Okay. Next spots we're going to talk about is going to be the Donovan Mitchell. All right. So Donovan Mitchell, right? He's in play for everything. Just gave these boys 35 points last game, whatever the case may be. But his assist prop, sitting at 4.5 right now. As you can see, his last 10 games, he's 70% to this number. Head to head, he is 2 or 4 to this number. He did hit this number versus them on the 6th. Um, 2023, he is 71% to this number. So he's been doing this number all season long. He's 12 or 17. Even you can look at you can take guys off the floor like Evan Mobley. You can take him off the floor and games with him off the floor. He's still 12 or 17 to this number. Last 10 games with him off the floor. Let's see. I rarely test this tool out, but it's still the same. It's still the same. So you can look at that. And his points self-explanatory. You know what I'm saying? However, point guards versus these both of these teams, I do like to target both versus both of these teams here. You get Cleveland coming in at the fifth worst at defending the point guard position, and then right behind them Orlando. So you could look at these two teams. All right, Darius Garland gave them around 20, I think 26 points last time these two teams played. So there you have that. All right, that's Cleveland and Orlando Magic, and there will be no Mobley and um, Paulo did just get him like 42 or 45 last time out. All right, these two teams just played on a sixth or something like that. Washington Wizards at Philadelphia 76ers, like, see who's in, see who's out. Uh, I thought Embiid would actually be out today, by him being unquestionable and stuff like that. But if he's in, he's in. He's in a monster spot. He kills these guys, and you could look at Maxi's assists. All right, if it was at 6.5, I would have took it right out the gate. But it's at 7.5 right now. He does have a double double versus this team. Maxi does. You can look at Embiid's assists as well. Miami Heat and Charlotte Hornets. I just a team that I just don't like to target. If if uh, if um, if as we can see, Kyle Lowry was out injured. I mean, illness. If he doesn't go, you can really look at um, on Terry Rozier's points and rebounds and assists and things of that nature. Um, Interesting play, Gordon Hayward. I have interested in his points prop sitting at 15. He had 20 points or better in 3 of his last 4 games. And Nick Richards, his rebound prop is in play, sitting at 9.5, going up against this team with no Bam. Okay, Toronto Raptors at New York Knicks here. One of my favorite looks today is going to be Pascal Siakam here. So I do have him set to the side. Over here to Outlier. Some of my plays that I got put to the side here. Let's go down here to search, and we have Pascal Siakam. There's a few more things that I do like about this game. I ain't gonna touch on it. Last time these two teams played, um, 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 Scotty Barnes did give these guys 29 points. There will be no, as you can see the injuries right here. There will be no we got Jalen Brunson is a game time decision. Mitchell Robinson is out. Otto Porter and Kokolo is out on the Raptors side. But like I said, from a matchup standpoint and historically, we can look at the rebounds here. Rebounds for Pascal Siakam sitting at 6.5. He's hit this number 6 to 10 on the season. However, team versus head to head, he's hit this number every game. All right, versus this team. He's 7 for 7 versus this team. That's really, really good. I like the over 6.5 rebounds, especially uh, with no Mitchell Robinson in sight. 2023, he's 13. He's over 50% to this number. Um, points and rebounds. Um, Points and rebounds, he's 10 for 22. But head to head, he is 5 or 7 to this number. What else? Rebounds and assists. Head to head versus his team, he's 6 or 7 to this number. It's a lot. And I like his points. His points sitting at 21.5. Um, even for my people on the books, if you want to tease it down, what you can alter the points right here. Use the alternate lines. Go down to 19.5 to 20 points. That is a minus 180 as a parlay piece. He's hit this number 5 out of 7 to this versus this team. Okay, so there you have that. And like I said, depending on who's the two guard, how you feel about the two guard, because you know how a lot of this positionless basketball shit goes. You can look at the three ball here. All right. New York Knicks giving up the most threes to the shooting guard position. That could be Scotty Barnes. Speaking of Scotty Barnes, he gave them 3 threes. Oops, let me stop. Let me stop because I don't know. All right. But I can go find out. But I know last game Scotty Barnes had 3 threes, and you can look at Scotty Barnes, man. He's been, he from beyond the arc, he's been trying to get it together. Okay, so let's take a look here. Let's go to the three ball here. 3 pointers made last 10 games. All right, his props in at 1.5. Right, he's hit this number at 7 of his last 10 games. Cleveland versus New York Knicks. Let's go head to head versus the New York Knicks. Last time these two teams played on the first, And you can filter it to shooting guard, and then small forward. The shooting guard, they 22, giving up the 3 pointers, whatever case may be. Actually, they number one on the other side, so there's a discrepancy there. But they're giving it up to shooting guards. Last time these two teams played, he had three threes. Okay, so there you have that. All right. Um, Next play we can talk about is going to be the and I do like Jared Allen rebounds. You can look at his rebounds and possible double double. He had 11 rebounds, 3 of his last 4 games versus his team, and I think he had 8 points last time these two teams played. So, going up against somebody like Goga Batase, who's been playing well, good, okay defense as of late. So there you have that. Okay. All right. Let's go. Next play we want to talk about here is going to be Clint Capella. All right. Now this is a game that we're going to probably talk about on the live as a whole. As a whole. All right. Same game parlay. Great same game parlay environment here, and I'll talk about a few things. Here's one play that I do want to point out here. Let's just go straight to the nitty gritty. We're going to the rebounds. We're going to the rebounds. We're going to go straight to the rebounds. We're going to go head to head. All right. As long as he can stay out of foul trouble, you can look at him for a double double. Truthfully, uh, um, um, the Joker is not one that wants to get in foul trouble. He knows how valuable he is to the team. However, Kim Cabela has went over 10 rebounds in every game he's played. Well, the last 4 games. Points wise, he's went over his point prop. He's had over 11, over 12 points or better in the last 4 games as well. So, I mean, he has no choice but to be in play. I can see you fading this. Sure. I couldn't talk about fading and not playing at all. Is it in play? Yes, it's in play. I'm just pointing that out. Now, just from a game standpoint here, let me just give you some good spots all across the board here and let you know how good of a same game parlay this game could be. All right. Uh, it's a good environment. All right. So you would think point guards do put up points versus this Atlanta team, but statistically they don't. But you can make exceptions for guys like Jamal Murray and stuff like that. Speaking of Jamal Murray, um, he did just play 32, 33 minutes, so his minutes limit could be off. He could be capped around 32, 33. Either way it goes, that's more than enough. All right. So point guard position. If he wants to go out there and be a point guard, you can look at his assists. All right. Atlanta giving up the second most assists. All right. You know what I'm saying? Atlanta giving up the second most assists to the point guard position. Who's he going to pass it to? You can look at points. All right. You can look at points. Atlanta giving up the most points to the shooting guard position. Atlanta's giving up probably top 10. They top 10. They're giving up points to the small forward position. That's whoever the guy is. I know who he is. Porter. Power forward position, Atlanta's giving up the fifth most points to the power forward position. And Joker, you know who Joker is, all right? So he's just not popping up right there. But however, that's how that's gonna go. All right. 3 pointers. You can go back down the line. Let's see. Atlanta right outside the top 10, probably 13th, and giving up threes to the power forward position. I wouldn't take Gordon for threes. Anyway, small forward, threes, that's Porter. Atlanta giving up the sixth most threes to the small forward position. And then shooting guard, Atlanta is top four and giving up threes to the shooting guard position there. And then there you have that. All right. Atlanta to the threes, they're giving up the seven most threes to the point guard position. So it is what it is. Okay. It's a 3 point shooting league. I got to point it out. So there it is. Some guys that's in some good spots, stuff like that. Let's keep it moving. All right. Um, the Jazz and Oklahoma City Thunder, right? So here's the thing with this. I was already all over John Collins, right? Rebounds. As you can see, Oklahoma City Thunder, they give up the second most rebounds in the league, the power forwards. What does Smith goes in there from Houston? He goes in there and grabs himself 18 rebounds, right? So John Collins is questionable with an illness. I don't think he's going to go. Early illness tag, I don't think he's going to go. But however, you can get somebody like Kelly Olynyk sliding in there. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have interest in his props, his points and his rebounds. Plus, he can chase. He can be somebody to help chase Chet around. Right. Next person you'll look at, there'll be no Walker Kessler. You can look at You can look at Omer Yurtseven, rebounds, okay? Possible double double. Oklahoma City is giving up second most rebounds to the center position there, okay? So that's another guy that you can look at. And then we bring it on back. We wound it on back here. Let's talk about some plays that I had in my player pool already. So let's go over here. I got 15 plays down there that I was looking at. So let's stop right here. And like I said, I already had John Collins. We just went over the John Collins thing. Let's take a look at Keontae George here, right? Filter this here to the point guard position right there. Then we're gonna go over here to the assist, right? So they're giving up the assist right now. On one side I seen it was giving up third or most assists to the point guard position. Keontae George assist props in at 4.5. This is a pace up matchup, as you can see. I can show you guys that. Pace right now, Indiana's playing at 104.13 pace, and then Oklahoma City is number three in pace. All right, that Utah is probably sitting down towards the bottom, maybe around the middle. They around the middle of the pack at 14. So it's definitely a pace up matchup for the Utah Jazz. And I couldn't talk you off the 4.5 assists for Keontae George. However, you look at the points for Keontae George too. Am I going to go there? Probably not. But 13 and a half points is not out of the realm of possibilities there. Okay. And when you can see that, like I said, this team versus point guards, points wise, um, assist wise, they are okay. Let me see. One, two, three, four. Okay, see. Now they right outside the top 10. They outside the top 10. They moving around the middle of the pack. So that's going to be interesting. And keep in mind, there's going to be no Lou Dort. So I'm going to have interest there. It just is what it is. Next guy we can talk about is going to be Clarkson for sure. This is a matchup that Clarkson likes. I would say a pace up matchup here. Jordan Clarkson over 21 and a half points is definitely in play. I don't know if I'm going to play it yet, but it's definitely in play. Over 21 and a half points. He's been cold to this number, but the usage should be there. Um, Head to head versus this team, as you can see, he's hit this number. It wasn't 21 and a half, it's 17 and a half. Head to head versus his team, he's hit this number at 17 and a half. He's 100% to this number. All right. So definitely like this. Definitely like this prop. I definitely like this prop here. And then the assist prop for him in this matchup, he's 4-6 to this number. Couldn't talk you off this number here versus this team. All right. And then you got your Shaq Alexanders and guys like that. You know those guys are in play, man. You know those guys are in play. They're definitely in play. Jordan Clarkson, Shaq Alexander, head to head, points wise versus this team. Um, He's 3 or 5 to his number at 32 and a half. Like you can get there if you want. You could also look at his assist prop, which I want to say that Utah is giving up the most assists to the point guards. The assist prop sitting at 6.5. Head to head, he's 3 or 5 to this number. Um, I, I would say, yeah, Utah Jazz giving up the most assists to the point guard position. So at 10.5, almost a whole assist above number two there. So he's definitely in play. Another place where you can attack the point guard, where you can attack the Utah Jazz is going to be the small forward and the power forward position. Small forward points wise, Utah Jazz giving up the third most points to the small forward position, and the power forward position they're giving up the fourth most points to the power forward position. Okay, so that's it in a nutshell right there. Those are the guys that are going to be doing heavy lifting. All right. So Jalen, what's his name? Williams. Jalen Williams. His points prop is kind of high, but it's definitely in play here, sitting at 19 and a half. It's definitely in play. I think he's hit this number 2 of his last 3 games, something like that. All right. Ooh, it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. All right. So right here, we'll stop at the Chicago Bulls game here, and I'll say that you know, I'll tell you like this, right? So let me see. I did have this penciled in. Well, penciled in. Let's see. So go over to my plays, and you can look at as a parlay piece. You can look at Nikola Vucevic, right? So rebounds. Rebounds. He's Last 2 games, he's had 12 and 16 rebounds. 3 of his last 4 games. Oops, let's go head to head. Four, he, five, his he got 10 rebounds or better in 5 straight games. His last 5 games versus this team. Points wise, head to head, he's got 20 points or better in 4 straight. Um, Keep in mind, the last game, the Bulls did go in there and beat them. The last game, last time these 2 teams played, Bulls did go in there and beat them without DeRozan and without Levine. Keep in mind, I do have interest in the DeRozan points today. So there we have that. And then we can look at Kobe White, of course. Kobe White, the talk of the town lately. Shout out to Kobe White. Um, you can look at his individual points. You can look at his threes, whatever the case may be. Points line, head to head. Um, his points in that he hit it last game. Okay, last 5 games for him. He's been off the chain. He's 3 or 5 to this number. 3 point prop. You could definitely look at his 3 points made. Last 5 games, he's 3 or 5 to his 3 point prop, which is sitting at 3.5. I couldn't talk you off of that. Okay. The Bulls give up the second most threes to the shooting guard position. That's going to be none other than Malik Beasley. So you can look at Malik Beasley's threes. Dame Lillard, ABC, those motherfuckers are in play by default, right? Um, Minnesota Timberwolves and New Orleans Pelicans, all right? Both these centers are averaging a double double versus each other. However, you could look at the blocks for Rudy Gobert should come out at 1.5, and his steals and blocks should come out at 2.5. I like them both. You can mix them up to a fancy score. I'm gonna end up liking that too. Okay, we need to see who's going to be in and out for this Minnesota team. They haven't put any Minnesota players on the board yet. Dallas Mavericks. Let's talk about this game as a whole, because this game is. Let's talk about this game as a whole from an injury standpoint, right? So let me give you this news right here. No Irving, no Williams, no Green, no Kleber, right? So I expect it'd be Luka Doncic, Exum, probably Lively, Hardaway, and Jones Jr. And then on the flip side, they're going up against Memphis, right? So Memphis, last time these 2 teams played, I want to say Jaren Jackson Jr. and I think Bain had 30, right? So touching on some spots here. Um, First of all, the assist prop. Now, Dallas will give up the assist to the point guard position. You can look at Bain. Anybody who's handling the ball, you can look at Bain in this instance. All right, so you can definitely look at Bain. His assist prop will be in play in this spot. Um, Dallas Mavericks. Let's look at the 3 ball. Okay, so three ball for the point guard position. Memphis, right there, and Dallas. Both of them giving up the threes at top 10. Right. Shooting guard position. Dallas, Memphis not far behind, but Dallas top 10. Okay. Small forward, threes. Memphis giving up the most threes to the small forward position. You can look at Tim Hardaway, all right? His threes. And who are they playing? Dallas, right. So Dallas, power forward, Memphis, right there. Dallas, both of them top 10, okay? Center. Let's look at the rebound prop for the center. Dallas giving up the fourth most rebounds to the center position. And that just about sums it up. Okay. Would I have interest in Derek Lively? Yes, I did. I don't see any um, a clear path for him to get foul trouble. So I think his his rebound prop would be in play. See who the starters are. Those guys should be playing a ton of minutes. You can probably kill this should be concentrated usage today in this in this on the Dallas side. Okay, with all the injuries. All right. San Antonio Spurs and Houston Rockets, like San Antonio Spurs and Houston Rockets. I like. I mean, you can look at Fred Van Vliet's assists. You can look at his double double. I like it. All right. Couldn't talk off rebounds for John Collins. I've been looking, not Collins, but for Collins. I've been looking for his rebounds all over the place. The rest of these guys, they're gonna shoot threes, stuff like that. Victor Wembanyama is in play for whatever. I just can't give you one solid play here. Brooklyn Nets at Sacramento Kings here. Um, I'm looking at Nick Claxton, right? So if Nick Claxton can stay out of foul trouble, then I can see him getting to a double double. It's just it just is what it is. You could look at Sabonis here. Sabonis in the two games that he played versus Brooklyn, while with uh, well last time he played he had 24 and 21. All right, we could take a look at that game and Nick Claxton he did have himself a double double as well. I want to say let's see, Sabonis 24 and 21. Fox did play that game, and on the flip side, Nick Claxton did have 41. I mean 14 and 14 with the steal and blocks. Speaking of steal and blocks, I like the steals and blocks for Nick Claxton. As long as he stay out of foul trouble, but that'll be yet to be seen. So yes, I have no choice but to like the steals and blocks. If it comes out at 2.5, yes, please. Okay. Um, the Nets got beat by 30 one of these games. The next game here, let's see, look at the player stats here. It's going to be, yeah, they didn't have a lot of people. They didn't have a lot going on there. They did. They just got their ass beat the fuck up. Either way it go, and then either way it go, that's where I'm at with that. I'll be looking at Nick Claxton pretty hard today. See if I want to put him in my plays or whatever case may be. Small forward was an interesting play. Is an interesting play for uh, uh, versus Sacramento Kings as they give up the third most points to the small forward position. And points wise, in general, raw points, they give up the fourth most points there. Even fantasy score, they're probably giving up fantasy score, the fifth most fantasy score. That's somebody like Bridges. You'll probably get Dinwiddie at the one. You know the guy that shoots a lot. What's his name? Cam Johnson or Thomas at the two, and then you'll probably get Bridges at the three. So Bridges will probably be in a good spot here. All right. And the last game on the docket here would be the Portland Trailblazers at Los Angeles Clippers. And just keep an eye on the news there. And then at the end of the day, Anthony Simons, he's going to shoot the three. He's going to shoot it early. He's going to shoot it often. I like Anthony Simons' three ball, but they probably going to get their ass beat up. All right. So with that being said, guys, that just about sums it up here. Just a quick rundown of what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, live stream is at 3:30. Peace out.